So an isometric cube looks really complicated, but it's actually quite an easy technique to use as long as you obey some simple rules. So an isometric cube is used to show the sides of an object, and it shows them in dimensional proportions as opposed to a perspective drawing, 1 or 2 point perspective, where things get smaller as they go further away. So if this is 4 blocks up, it will be a perfect cube, it'll be 4 blocks across and 4 blocks that way. Now I've got 3 axes, red, blue, and yeah, this is meant to be green. And I'm trying to show you that you always follow the lines on the isometric grid. So we start off doing a cube by doing the axes, and it kind of makes an arrow pointing downwards. So we've got the front corner red, then we've got the width and depth in blue and green. So I'm now going to do this one here, and I'm going to do this one here, spotting where they finish, and then I can do the blue and green. So using these colours on this cube, there is a rule we can use to make sure that our cube is isometric. An isometric cube is made up of 3 sets of parallel lines. So an isometric cube is made up of 3 sets of parallel lines. If we remind ourselves of that when we're drawing this and we stick to the lines, you can't go wrong, but we do, because learning is made better by mistakes, or rather we learn more when we make mistakes. So if I do start, which is the front corner followed by the edges, and then we've got this book shape. The question is that book open or shut? Now, if I come off the lines and stop this one, the blue ones being parallel, if this back line comes off, then my cube will look wrong. Only a little bit wrong, but it's not a perfect cube. So bring that in and rub that out. Use light lines when you're drawing this. I've drawn a heavy line just so that you can see it better. But draw it with light lines, and then when you've got it right, go over the top. Our strongest learning comes from the errors and mistakes that we make. We learn faster and better from it, so don't be afraid of making mistakes. Just correct them. Okay, so what aided me when I was doing my 3D drawing was the crating method. So the crating method, the examples are given here, and in each box you're going to copy what is here. So the first one is ellipses. Now, if I draw a small square, let's make it a bit of a rectangle so it's not a perfect circle. If it was a perfect square, it'd be a perfect circle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do corner to corner, and it's like I'm going to draw the Union Jack. Now I do an arc around. Again, I'm going to move the paper slightly. Sometimes moving the paper is easier than moving yourself. I curve that. Okay. Should have done this lightly. Now I can go around and try and adjust anything that I didn't like. Whoops, that's the wrong line. Yeah, I want you to keep your scruffy lines there, please, because this shows that you're doing crating. Don't rub them out afterwards. The next one to do is like a really squished circle, and to do that we just draw same thing again, Union Jack, and then we do our ellipse in our circle, sorry, in our square. Okay, next, kite. Now, I'd like you to freehand this, please. If you really struggle, it's okay for you to use a ruler, but freehand is much quicker than using rulers. So I'm going to draw a rectangle, and then I'm going to find the halfway line, and then it looks like it's about a third up, and a third up. I then draw a line, and a line. So this is the structure lines, even though I've created it, and now I'm going to join up the corners. Again, really light lines, please. We use light lines until we're really happy with the overall structure, and then we commit only when we're happy with it. Okay, so I'm happy with that now, and I'm going to use a much stronger line over the top. Okay, your final tasks on this section are to do the house and the torch, but you must use the structure lines. One thing with the torch, notice there is a middle line going down. Now that's a line of symmetry. Now I know you've done this in art before, so on this page here, I would like you to draw the rectangle. I'd like you to draw a line of symmetry down the middle, so that both sides are symmetrical, and then draw where you think things should be. The line of symmetry will help you with the torch button as well. So just build it up slowly, and then do the same with the house here.